This is Baseball History Daily, and I'm Tom, a baseball nostalgia enthusiast, and I'm just here to bring you a few minutes about today in baseball history. And here's my co-host Robin to jump into today's highlights.
On July 30th, 1990, Commissioner Fay Vincent places New York Yankees owner George Steinbrenner on the permanently ineligible list. Steinbrenner was suspended for paying a private investigator to dig up dirt on Dave Winfield. Bud Selig would reinstate the boss in 1993. On July 30th, 1965, Milwaukee manager Bob Bragin says his pitchers threw 75 to 80 spitballs in a 9-2 loss to the Giants. Bragin says he ordered the spitters to prove rules against them are not being enforced. On July 30th, 2009, a story appearing in the New York Times alleges that Boston sluggers David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez are among the 104 major leaguers who have tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs in 2003. The test results were supposed to have been confidential, but Alex Rodriguez's presence on the list had been leaked earlier in the year. Ortiz claimed he was unaware of the positive test 6 years earlier and denied using steroids. On July 30th, 1969, Hank Aaron blasts the 537th home run of his career, moving him past Mickey Mantle on the all-time list. On July 30th, 1983, the Atlanta Braves removed mascot Chief Noc-a-homa and his teepee from left field to make room for seating at Fulton County Stadium. The Braves would go on to lose 19 of their next 21 games before restoring the mascot and the teepee. On July 30th, 1909, after winning 13 in a row, Christy Mathewson loses to Pittsburgh 3-1, giving up 4 hits and 3 runs in the first inning. Red Ames relieves in the second. Mathewson's record is now 15-3. On July 30th, 1960, just as he predicted, Philadelphia pitcher Art Mahaffey, just called up from Buffalo, picks off the first batter to get a hit against him. Then, with the next batter to get a hit, he does it again. Curt Flood and Bill White are the base-running victims, but St. Louis still wins 6-3. In his next game, the first batter to get a hit off Mahaffey will be Jim Marshall, and Mahaffey will pick him off as well. On July 30th, 1959, Willie McCovey makes his major league debut for the San Francisco Giants. The young slugger faces another future Hall of Famer, Robin Roberts of the Philadelphia Phillies, and goes 4-for-4 with 2 triples. McCovey's impressive debut helps the Giants to a 7-2 win over the Phillies. On July 30th, 1980, J.R. Richard of the Houston Astros suffers a stroke while working out at the Astrodome. Doctors perform surgery to remove a blood clot from behind his right collarbone. Although Richard will return to pitch in the major leagues, he will never regain his previous dominance. 11 years later to the day, Boston reliever Jeff Gray becomes lightheaded and collapses to the floor, also suffering a stroke. Gray would undergo rehab and in 1994 became a minor league pitching coach. On July 30th, 1968, Roberto Clemente makes an impossible catch in Pittsburgh's doubleheader sweep of the Braves, so says manager Larry Shepard. The grab is described by Les Biederman in the Pittsburgh Press. The one play that brought the fans up screaming was a Roberto Clemente fielding special. Mike hit a shot off Steve Blass that was headed for the right field wall near the 375 mark. Clemente took off in pursuit and ran as hard and as fast as he could. Just as he approached the wall, Clemente reached up and caught the ball, still with his back to the diamond. He crashed into the wall, bruised his chin, and fell down. He was stunned for a second, but held the ball. That was July 30th, this day in baseball.
Our extensive collection of radio broadcasts captures the game's most iconic moments. They are retold to you by those who lived it. These broadcasts narrate more than just a game. They paint a vivid picture of the era and the legends that shaped it. Have a quick listen.
Brought to you direct from Comiskey Park. Speaking to you from Crosley Field in Cincinnati.
This is Ernie Harwell at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the radio audience. We're at Navin Field. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the radio audience. Today we're out at the Polo Grounds, that historic old home of the New York Giants, nestled in the lee of Coogan's Bluff on the island of Manhattan.
Hi there, everybody. This is Ralph Kiner. Welcome to another big league game from Houston, Texas, here at Colt Stadium.
And now, good afternoon, everyone, to baseball fans everywhere. This is Bill Slater with Al Helper and Bill Corum greeting you from Briggs Stadium in Detroit.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you to another baseball broadcast, brought to you direct from Wrigley Field.
Well, it's another beautiful day here in Yankee Stadium.
This is Ben Scully, along with Jerry Doggett and Al Helper, inviting you to stay with us now.
Excited to start listening to some of these games? Just come on over to members.thisdayinbaseball.com and join us today. As we wrap up today's show, thank you, Robin, for today's highlights. You can find her for voiceover work at robinsays.com. And if you enjoy the podcast, please help me out and do one of 3 things. Follow, subscribe this podcast, and leave a review. It really helps. Share us with your baseball friends. Let them know about us. Or jump over to members.thisdayinbaseball.com. Join our email list, community, and our family of baseball podcasts.